Hi, I'm Jornes. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I replicate a section of a website. The website I built with Zion Builder recently. Alright, so let's take a look at the website. So the website is cabinets.my, so you can check this domain and see for yourself what I have done for this website. Alright, so just a simple information. This website was built mostly with grid layout. Alright, so you can take a look at the HTML structure, so you can see that grid, some of them flags. Okay, so mostly grid, you can see that. Okay, so grid, flex, grid, some items in the layout is are grid, or sorry, some items in the layout are grid, flex. Alright, so you can see grid, okay, a lot of grid items. Okay, so scroll down to see the section I'm going to do today. Alright, so it's a social section. Alright, it's for social medias. If you have 3 social medias, you can use this layout for your website if you like it. Alright, so in this section I have Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So let's check its responsiveness now. So as I squeeze the browser, you can see it changes. Alright. Sorry, nice. Okay, so this section, as I said, this website was built with grid. Okay, but in the video, I'm not going to use grid because when I use grid, it will become a lot complicated for me to explain to you, and also for me to explain it's a tough work. Okay, so I'm going to use flex instead. Alright, so let's start. So the first thing I'm going to make first block is a Facebook. Alright, so one by one. So let's begin. So here in the bricks builder, I add a section. Alright, in the section, you can see that this layout is having 3 blocks. Okay, so in the container, I'm gonna add 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you can see now 3 blocks stacking vertically. Alright, so now I want to make them stack horizontally. Alright, so this section is about social, so I'm going to give it a class called social. Alright, so the container is, I call it social inner. Alright, so these 3 blocks, I think I'm going to call it as social card instead. It's more suitable because you can see that in this website, I did not name it this way because I used all the classes as reusable classes. So you can see all these are reusable classes. So, but it's just because it's a bit difficult for me to explain, and also it might be difficult for you to follow what I do. So I use the simple way instead. Alright, so here in bricks, I will also introduce you how to use reusable classes. Alright, so in this section, in this container, I want to make them stack horizontally. So I add a class called horizontally flex direction, so I call it FD, and then dash horizontal is row, right? So I just call it row. Now I using this class, I click on this row. So you can see all these blocks are now horizontally. Okay, so and then because I want it to be easy to see, so now I want to add a padding top and bottom. So to add padding top and bottom, I normally say padding Y. Y is the direction for top and bottom. Padding M. Padding M, let's say I want the padding to be 75 pixel. Okay, so here I have the 75 pixel top and bottom. If you want to have bottom left or right, so you can just use it bottom padding X, PX, and then so and whatever you want. Maybe padding 75. Okay, but I don't need this. I just want to have heading top and bottom. All right, but here because you can see these three blocks are now sticking to each other, so I want to have gap. So I want to have gap in between, so I choose the container. I give it a gap, let's say gap small size, gap small. All right, so now I give it a gap small. What happened? One moment, because maybe this is the class I have recently deleted. Gap S. There's some ghosted value. Alright, so I give it another name. Gap, maybe gap S. Alright, gap S, and then so I S 30 pixel and 30 pixel. Alright, so now we have gap in between, so they don't stick to each other. So alright, so let's take a look at the first block. So what we have here is the social icon, Facebook, and the title, Facebook. Alright, it depends if you want it. Alright, so the Facebook title, the social description, and the last item is button. Alright, so when I'm building this website, you will I have already separated them into two divs. Alright, so why so? Okay, the two div. The first div is to hold the icon, title, and description. And the second div is to hold the button, because I want the button to stay same aligned with these two buttons. No matter when I have lesser text here, the button wouldn't go up, so it will still stay at the same position. But I'm not using the position absolute, so let me show you how I do this. Alright, so the next thing is I'm going to add two more div in the social card. All right, so this is the block of the social card. So I add 2 more div here. No, let's stick to block instead, because when I use block, the block has 100% width by default, so it's easier for me to style. Alright, the first thing, social card. Okay, because previously I've done some demo before, so there's a ghosted value. I have actually deleted this class, social card. Now when I add the class again, create the class again, there is a ghosted value, so no problem, I just use it. Alright, so you can see social card 30 pixel. Okay, so now it's time to add icon, title, and description. Alright, so add icon. And then heading. The last is basic text. Alright, so now we have the same thing here. Alright, so I'm gonna give them a class. So this one I call it social icon. Alright. Now I change the icon to Facebook. Alright, so the next is the title. So as you can see that I have a separator on the right after next to the title. Alright, so now I show you how I make the separator. Give it a class separator right. Oh my god, because I have done it previously, I deleted the global class, and when I add the class, I recreate the class, so all the values are there. Alright, so no problem. So I will use add another name and start and show you how I do the separator. Otherwise you are not able to learn. Okay, separator. Let's say right. Okay, separator right. Alright, to start making the separator, we need to switch the pseudo class. Before we switch the pseudo class, one thing we need to do is change the position to relative. Alright, now we switch the pseudo class, change to before. Make sure you give it a space here, otherwise the styling is not working. Alright, so my separator here is, you can see that separator, let's see the value. The width is 35, and then the height of it is 4. So here I'm going to grab the color from here later. Alright, so now I give it a width 35, and then height is 4, and then the position is absolute top 50%, and then left. Okay, so I grab the value from here. so left. So why I explain a little about this value. So calculate 100% from the right. So 100%. So the separator will be here when once you because we want away from the right is 100%, and then I have a little bit of space next to the title. So I have 50 pixel. So the separator won't stick to the heading. It looks like this. If you don't have spacing, the 15 pixels, so you will see the separator is sticking to the K. All right. So let's apply the gradient color now. The separator color. All right. So the gradient color. So the first color is. Now let's grab the color code here. Okay, so this is the first color. Yeah, I need to switch the pseudo class again. B4. All right. So the first gradient color is this. Okay, and then the next color is it is just the simple. You can just copy the color from existing site. All right, so let's see the position, the direction, the degree. 114. Okay, so the anchor, sorry, not the direction, it's a angle 114. So you will see the separator exactly what I have here, 100%. All right, so now we have this. We need to copy the text here for the Facebook page. Okay, so we have icon, title, change the title, Facebook. Okay. So this Facebook text, we call it social title. Cram 16px. All right, so you will see that I have the same size. I have the same title with the same size. All right, so what? So this is the. I'm not using the same font, so I just follow the font weight and color. Font weight. Okay. Now you can see I have icon, title, and the description, but I want to have gap in between. So here I'm gonna change to this block cut inner. So this one I call social cut inner. Okay, so I'm gonna add a gap here. So at the social cut inner why I want to create all these classes, because it's easier for you to follow. So now I add a class for the game XS, because previously we have S, right? So now I call it XS because I want it to be smaller than that. Gap XS, so I use it 20. Alright, so you see I have 20 pixel. Okay, in here the Facebook icon, so I'm going to give it a name, another class, so I call it as FB. Alright, so you can see the Facebook icon is automatically filled with the color, because I previously built a Facebook class at the class FB, and then I deleted the class. Maybe this is the power of bricks. When I delete the global class, the styling all remained with the class names. So as soon as I have the same class name, so all the styling will follow the class. I think this is the story. Okay, but no. Facebook class, no problem. I think it's better for me to use another class to do the demonstration. I delete this one. I say Facebook, no problem. Just use it Facebook. Typography, change the color here, apply the color here. Oh, I have two hash in the front. Okay. So you will see the same here. Facebook, title, icon, title, and a description. Alright, so now I want to add a button to another div. Alright, so you can call it div or block. So to make it clear, I call it blocks. Okay, right? So in this block, I'm gonna call this as a button holder, or call it social button. Okay, add the button. Okay, so now you will see that we have, by default, we have yellow background, because this is the bricks theme color. Alright, so let's remove the background color. Alright, so now I create button social. I call it follow more suitable. Button follow. Alright, so the first thing is to remove the background color. I choose any color, and then the transparency I move to 0. Alright, so I don't have any background color here. So, and then the next thing is to remove the padding on the left. Alright, remove the padding on the left. Alright, so then I add a border bottom. I think it's 2 maybe. It's 2 pixel. Alright, 2 pixel. Solid and black. Okay, all right. So we have the button. I say follow. Hey. For this button, I want to make the text a little bit. Okay, make it bold. So in this button, I have an arrow. So add an icon, switch to content, icon, choose your icon solid. Right. Okay, so now we have the button for the follow. Exactly the same. Now let's take a look at the front end. All right. So we have the button. So now I want to add the background. Okay. So now I want to make it. I want to give the main section the same color like this section. All right. All right. So here I copy the. Where is the background container 3? Okay, background container 3. So here I'm gonna add the section here because in this website, for this website, right, I add all the background color using before pseudo class. So in bricks, I make it everything simple. I just apply it to the background color. Why so? FFE89. FFE89. This section. Okay, social. Gradient 1. So add to gradient. So what is the color code again? FFE8D9. FFE8D9. All right. So the next color is FFB276. FFB276. All right, so let's see the angle. This is 1142. The angle in 114. All right, so it's the same color, same gradient effect as this website. Okay, now now we should add the background color for this social card. Okay, in this social card, This social card is this color. Alright, by right I have an inner div here. So this one is this one. Social card background color. Alright, then and then we have here one moment, because I'm checking out because I forgot some structure of this website I built before. The card. Alright, so there is another one, inner div. Okay, so here no problem, just follow what I have now. Social card, now I have it 30 pixel, and then I add the border. The border is 5 pixel. 5 pixel. Solid. Okay. Now we have done for the first block. So now let's copy and paste for the second and third block. Okay, so I just duplicate 1, 2. Alright, so now we have 3 blocks. Okay, so I just copy and paste from the website or the copy and paste the content. Copy and paste the content. So now I have to change the icon to Instagram. Alright, Instagram. Now this change to Instagram. The last one is Pinterest. Pinterest. Change the icon to Pinterest. Okay, I use exactly the same icon that I have on this website. So now the next thing is I want to remove the class Facebook and add Instagram, IG, no, Instagram. Why I want to use a different class for the icon? I think you should understand, because I have 3 different icons, so I want them to have different colors. So the last one is the Facebook, the Pinterest. So I do the same, remove the class of Facebook and add Pinterest. So I can control them using a different class. Okay, so by default, I have no idea how to apply gradient color to this icon of Instagram, because if you use one single color for this icon, it is not going to be nice. So I need gradient color for Instagram icon. So let's check the color I use for this website. So for the background, okay, so I'll need to add this value here, copy all this. Instagram, I select the, make sure you select the class. So I add this CSS properties and values in the custom CSS root. Alright, so you can see that the Facebook, the Instagram icon has the gradient effect. Same as this. Alright, the last one is Pinterest. The Pinterest is this color. The Pinterest, so the typography, so change the color to this. Alright, so 3 of them have the same thing as what I have here. Alright, so now the logo, the icon is zoom in when I hover over the div. Alright, so and you see the border as well. So the border, so let's check what I use for the border. Border effect frame. Alright, so the border, when hover, alright, so you will see I have this border effect frame. So these are the properties. So when you hover over this div, so you will have this hover effect. The first block, social card. Alright, so this one I add a class to border effect. Border effect frame. Alright, so here I add the class, add the custom CSS here, root hover. Okay, so you can see that the hover effect. Let's take a look at the front end. Alright, so you can see that when I hover over a div, I have the gradient border effect. Alright, so you will see that why these 3 blocks have different height. I want them to be the same height. Alright, so let's do the magic here. On this container, I need to test something one by one. All right, so I just need to apply this align items to stretch. All right, so to make the entire section and make the classes to be reusable for the entire site, so I decided to add a class here, align items, so I call it AI. So stretch, so I call it ST. So align item stretch, so I choose here align items stretch, so all of them same height right now. Okay, but the next problem is that when I have the same I have 3 boxes in the same height, but the buttons are not same aligned, so I want them to stay same as this one. Okay, when I have longer text, all this button will follow the same line as this button. So now I'm going to add another magic. Okay, so here I have 2 blocks, right? So now let's check the website I have done. All right, so here you will see that I have a balance class. All right, this is a balance class. The balance class, you can see that I have the flex glow one and space between. Now I add a space between class to this container. This is the main container of the social card. Alright, so I add space between. It's justify content space between. So justify content. Now add a class justify content space between. Justify content space between. Alright, so you will see that justify content space between. You will see now the button is follow is same line same align with this button. So no matter how long the context you have here, so the button will still follow. If you don't believe, let me test it. I'll repeat again. Okay, so now to make you understand better, so I will need to change the space justify content space between to balance. All right, balance. All right, so for the next block, I also adding the same thing, the same class. You will see the magic is doing its work. So the last class, the last block, so I also adding the same balance. Okay, you can see all the buttons are now staying the same line as others do. So when you have a longer content in between and in the second box, okay. So now, yeah, let's say when I have a longer content, longer text for Instagram. So you will see that all the buttons are still following this. Now I need to give a gap between the button and this context. So now sorry, that's my block. Okay, so now I give you a class here, the block social button. I don't need to give you a class because this social button is specifically for this block. So I just add the layout margin top 20. That should do the trick. Alright, so now I don't want to have so much text here, so I remove. Back to original. Okay, now now I want to add the same hover effect to the second and the third block. So I need to add also here. I have the class border effect frame. So border effect frame. So the last one is the same border effect frame. Okay, so when you hover over this, so you will see the border. Okay, social cut, but why my padding is gone? Alright, so the balance. Now the padding is back. Okay, so the next thing is to make the icon zoom when I hover over the div. Alright, so social cut. So this is social icon. So now back to the main block of the card. Okay, this is the main card. So I call it as card wrapper. Okay, so I back to card wrapper. Now we need to do a little custom CSS. Root hover social icon. Color. No, not color. It is a transform. Transcale. Social icon, isn't it? Social icon, yeah, social icon. Sorry, I'm using a wrong one. Social icon. Alright, so we have when you hover over div, you can see that social icon. Social icon. So now I want to make the icon smoother when I hover. So I need to add transition to this icon. Social icon. sorry, transition is over here, CSS, all point 2s is nice. Let's take a look at the front end. All right. So now we have this section done 100%. So now I need to change the name to Pinterest and update the context here. Pinterest. Hey. Pinterest. Okay, so you can take a look at this. It is exactly the same, other than the font. So here we have. I will save the page and refresh the page. All right. I'm not sure if I can add the transition to this social card or is Alright, so we have all this ready by now. So we have Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Okay, so the next step is to make them responsive on smaller breakpoints. So let's go. Now let's say I want to switch to 991, the tablet portrait. Okay, on this tablet portrait, so I want the Facebook page, the Facebook column to span to full width 100%, and then the Instagram and Pinterest to be 50% each. So just stack below the Facebook column. Okay, let's see how I do it. All right, so now we are now on the tablet portrait. So I think I have to do something like this. So on this breakpoint, wrap 991. Okay, so this wrap 991 means the flex wrap I changed to wrap on this breakpoint. Alright, so you can see it when I change to a wrap 991 on 991, so you can see all the columns now automatically apply to 100%. Alright, so now the next step, I want to resize this column. Alright, so the first one I want it to remain 100%. So I choose social card and style. And to make it simple for you, I apply 100% for all. Sorry, 50% for all. Alright, and then you can see it. We have now all of them 50%, but the Facebook column I want it to be 100%. Alright, so I will use first child pseudo class. First child. Okay. The first child I type 100%. Okay. Now I switch to normal state. you will see that the bottom one, the Instagram and Pinterest is now 50%. But why don't they sit side by side? Because there is a gap in between. In Flexbox, you have to calculate the inner gap. If you are using grid, it is a lot easier because the grid automatically calculate the inner gap. So we do need to calculate manually. So now I do it. Okay, on the card rubber, social card. We have 50%, right? Now we change something like this. I use calculation. 100%. Sorry, 50% minus, because we have 30 pixel on each one, so I have to minus 50 pixel. Okay, when I minus 50 pixel, you can see the sizes, they are now sitting side by side. Alright, so save, see it on the front end. Alright, so when I squeeze the browser, you can see that it is automatically stacked below the Facebook column. Alright, so when I go smaller, I want all of them to be 100% and stack vertically. So now I do this. For example, I want all of them stack vertically on 7 mobile landscape. Alright, so now what I need to do is very easy. The width here just change to 100%. So all done. So take a look at the front end. Refresh the page. Alright, so you will see that all are stacking vertically. It's easy, right? Alright, so that's all for this video. If you have any questions you want to ask how to do this, if you're unclear, so you can let me know by section below. So I will reply to your comments. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I know this video takes a little bit long. It's about 1 hour. Okay, so but thank you for your patience. Thank you very much again and again. Have a nice day.